Okay, guys, season is over. Leinster are champions. We now look forward to the international games. But I want to break down a little bit in relation to Reiko Ioane, Jordie Barrett, and the developing players in Leinster's youth. So before I continue, like and subscribe. If you guys do want to grab yourself a free 30-day trial for Amazon Prime, all you have to do is click the link in the description. You do need to put your card details in, but just before the trial ends, just make sure to cancel it if you guys are not happy with the service. Now, let's break it down because Jordie Barrett is done. He's got a nice little trophy to go home with him. And Leinster are going to miss Jordie Barrett quite a lot. He's been such a big and instrumental player as to how that they played this season, especially in the Champions Cup and into the back end of the season, going into the knockout stages of the URC. But all in all, he added so much stability. He was a leader on the field. He added, those oomph moments when it was needed, some crucial tries, and his play and control was just brilliant through every single game that he did play. So Leinster are going to be missing him, and they are going to be bringing in Reiko Ioane from the Blues. Now, yes, it's not a like-for-like replacement, and they bring two completely different things. Where Reiko Ioane is more of that powerhouse. He's that guy that's going to carry the ball so well. He's gonna break players. He's gonna just absolutely find those little spaces that's needed in between that defensive line and try to gain meters. He's very good at carrying the ball. But like I say, he brings in something completely different. Jordie Barrett is a more of a tactician's mind, right? He's able to see play happen. He's able to dictate play. He's able to use his all-rounded ability to be able to kick, to pass, to run, to defend, to tackle whenever needed. He was a very complete center, which is not something you tend to find very often these days. Whereas Reiko Ioane, he's more of that explosive kind of player, that player that's going to break the defensive line, where it's also good that he is able to play on the wings as well. So he adds a little bit more of adaptability to different roles. So that's definitely going to help him in his season, and being surrounded by some of the best players on planet Earth definitely is going to go a long way, especially improving him as a player and his ability, being around the best, learning from the best. And, it will only improve his game and then make him more of a monster for the All Blacks. But honestly, it's going to be difficult because yes, he is going to need to have to fit in. There are already players that kind of have similar heritage, like your Gibson Parks, James Lowe, who are originally from New Zealand but came up through the Leinster Academy system. But I don't know. It has me thinking, is he even needed at the squad? They are going to be paying his wages, which by no means is going to be cheap. It's going to be expensive to be paying his wages. But could that be used elsewhere? Yes, he is a big name. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. He is an international player. But Leinster's academy system is so wide and so vast that, we look at a lot of the players, we look at a lot of Leinster's squad, they are predominantly academy based, So should they not be focusing more on having the academy players come through and potentially have someone like your Jamie Osborne, for instance, solidify a center starting place instead of bringing out a player from abroad and, having him there. He is no doubt going to bring in a lot of experience, just like Jordie Barrett did. But again, Jordie Barrett and Reiko Ioane are two completely different ball games, two completely different players, right? So to me, Jordie Barrett kind of sees he's more like that father role. That guy's going to see everything. He's able to see steps ahead. Whereas Reiko Ioane, he's more of that ball busting powerhouse center that is just going to break through everything, right? So when we look at Leinster's youth system, their academy system, like I say, it's known for developing high quality talent. But then you look at, for instance, Jamie Osborne, who is an amazing center. Gives a lot of different positions as well. He's still young. He still can, break into a lot of different positions. give a lot of adaptability, add a lot of cover as well. He's very, very mobile whilst being very big and strong. But then you also have Charlie Tector. He is originally a fly half, but that does not mean he can't be a center. He's still got a lot in his game. And I do feel Leinster are potentially grooming him to, to potentially play at 12. You have Hugh Cooney, who, another top tier talent from the from the Six Nations squad, as well as a development player for the Leinster Academy. Top level. You have Casper Gabriel, year one center, and honestly, again, serious talent. A lot of big ceilings. So, should they be potentially looking at grooming a lot of these players into first team, making them first choice? I mean, even you look at Ruben Maloney, and although he is registered as a wingback and a fullback, he is often described as the fastest back three. But now imagine him at center. He could become a very, very powerful center if groomed right and put, training is put there. He could be a brilliant player. But that's just me speculating as to ifs and ifs and whatnot. But then you have players like your Finton Gunn, who again I think he adds a lot of quality in a lot of different positions, and he's still young enough to be able to adapt to wherever you need him to play, because he does seem like that kind of player. But honestly, I mean, you look at Garry Ringrose, you look at Robbie Henshaw, they are elite level talents. Having the experience by no means is going to be very, very helpful, but do they need all of that money to be spent on a player that I feel might not even be as effective as Jordie Barrett was? Because again, they are two completely different players. And I feel Leinster do potentially have a lot of younger players that are able to do something relatively similar, But again, you got to take in consideration there are a lot of injuries that happen through the season, and it is always better to have more and have more experience, especially considering the URC is a very, very long season. We saw how Glasgow was affected with all the injuries, but I don't know. I just feel Leinster have so much talent developing. Do they really need to be spending, a very, very high salary? Because, that's what it's going to take. I don't think there are reports on how much he's going to be earning, but it's not going to be cheap. Whereas they could potentially be looking at bringing in a lot more youth through their system, because they have a very good system in place and a lot of elite level players. Because again, Jordie Barrett, he's he's a different kind of player. He's a legendary status kind of player. I just feel Reiko Ioane is not that kind of player. I don't feel he is the kind of player that people can rally around and make things happen. I don't know. That's just my rambling. I want to hear what you guys think. Does Leinster actually need Reiko Ioane? Or could they look to their amazing youth system and academy talent to really start to break through? And I don't know. I just feel that money could be spent elsewhere instead of Reiko Ioane. I love the idea of him signing. He's definitely going to bring something to the squad. I just feel, do they need him like they would a Jordie Barrett? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. As always, like and subscribe, and catch you guys in the next one. Bye.